Greetings comic book fans and welcome to the very first Dudes Comic Haul of 2015. Today, share with you the books that I've picked up. I was really good today. I got 16 books. All the books are from my order, none are off the shelf. I think the only book that really tempted me, I know Squirrel Girl come out and a lot of people are looking forward to that, but that didn't really float my boat. The only book I was really looking forward to was Ant-Man, and I would have picked that up, but it's a $4.99 book, and I'm going to try and stay as far away from $4.99 books as I can. I may, from time to time, buy some because it's a book I like, but I'm not going to try not to jump onto new books that are $4.99. Last week, I really was intrigued by S.H.I.E.L.D., but I didn't get it because it was $4.99, and the same this week with Ant-Man. I'm not going to get it. The only one I am tempted to break that for is Star Wars. So don't be surprised if you see that turn up on my list, because that's the only one because like I'm not sure about the Princess Leia one, but like the main Star Wars one, it's going to be written by Jason Aaron. He's a pretty good writer. Interesting to see what he'd do with Star Wars. So many great characters there, and it's the classic trilogy. So yeah, and then you know you've got the Darth Vader series. Is the Darth Vader one a mini-series or an ongoing? Yeah, Darth Vader one, it's interesting because I don't know. I remember with Brian Wood did his Star Wars one. It was really cool how they used Darth Vader. He never had any internal monologue, so there was this kind of almost mystery because you never knew what he was thinking. He spoke very little, so there was much more impact when he did speak and when he done things, and because you never really could get into. There's something more mysterious about him, so it would be interesting with his own book. Usually you have your own book, you have that inner monologue going. Would Darth Vader lose something if you get too much inner monologue? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm trying to stay away from $4.99 books. Star Wars might be the one I break my rule for. Anywho, let's get into the books I got this week, the first comic book week of 2015. We have RoboCop issue number 7. I've read the first issue, really like that. Issue 2 to 6 came last week, so I've got those books to read. I haven't read them yet, so I will read them before I read this. So this may not be in my reviews, but it's the original RoboCop, the classic RoboCop, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm at that age now where like things from my youth I'm really nostalgic for, and I love wrapping myself from time to time in that nostalgia. So yeah, that was what really influenced that buy. We then have Hellboy and the BPRD 1952, issue number 2. Really enjoyed the first issue, really accessible to newbies like me to the Magnolaverse. I found BPRD, Hell on Earth, a bit difficult at times. It's a bit, I kind of don't understand what's going on at times with that book, and I found it a little bit difficult to get into. But this book was really accessible and really easy to get into, so I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm kind of like thinking at the moment with BPRD Hell on Earth, do I need to go and read the trades and get that book in trade rather than carry on reading it, because maybe so much has happened before, I need to read the book that way. I don't know. We then have Batman Eternal issue number 40. I'm really enjoying Batman Eternal. Love that cover with Batman and the Riddler, and I'm really looking forward to like when are we going to get revealed the big bad behind everything that's been happening, because I've got a couple of theories and I want to see if they're right. We then have Green Arrow issue 38. I love this book. Sorrentino's art makes it so unlike anything else. You then had Lemire's script, Miolo's colours. It was just a glorious book. Now, the last couple of issues, I've been a bit disappointed. Art-wise, it was always going to be difficult to follow, but it just feels like any other DC book now, art-wise, which isn't a bad thing, but it made it stand out from the crowd, the unique art. Kind of like with Batwoman, how that was when it started with J.H. Williams III on art. It's that same kind of vibe of being totally different and making it stand out. Also, the story I've not been impressed with, so I'm hoping the story's going to kind of turn around this issue, and having a bit of Green Lantern in there can only help. We have Justice League 3000 issue 13. I originally had already got issue 1 to 4. I've got to read the rest of the run before I read this. So this is another one that might not be in my reviews, but It's one of those books I dropped way back when that I just thought, you know what, I enjoyed that book. I'm going to go back to it. So we will see. I probably should have read the other issues before adding it to my order, but yeah, I don't always think things through. We then have Future's End, issue 36. Interesting, the characters on the cover are all characters I don't really understand how they're going to fit in to the whole, because at the moment Brainiac links a lot of the stories. I think there's only their story and probably Firestorm's story that aren't linked by Brainiac. So I'm really interested in how that's gonna, all wrap up. So, but this is another book that I'm really enjoying. We then have Swamp Thing. Love that cover. Shame it's gonna finish soon, but it definitely feels like Charles Soule's gonna take this book out with a bang. We then have Birthright, issue number 4. Loving this book. This will be one of the first I read. Really great book. It combines like those kind of fantasy stories, but you've got that streak of reality running through it as well, which, yeah, really cool. We then have All New X Factor, issue 19. I think this is the penultimate issue. Like I said in my comic book catch-up video, it's sad it's going to end, but it's really Marvel's fault. They messed up with this book. If they were going to put the book up and have a new team, they should have cut it down to just being once a month. But hey, it is what it is. But it feels like the book's really beginning to come together, because like Peter David is a long-term writer, and as you read the book it gets stronger and stronger, and it's a shame that it's ended now. But if it's not selling, it's not selling. We then have The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 12, which continues the Spider-Verse story. Giuseppe Camuncoli on art this issue, so no more. It has 2 issues. Oh god, I forgot the dude's name. One of my favourite artists as well, and I forgot the dude's name. A French artist, or at least his name is French sounding. But anywho, we haven't got him now. We've got Giuseppe Camuncoli, who sounds like he's an Italian. But yeah, I've been loving this Spider-Verse story, and what I love about it is that you can read the main story that is in Amazing Spider-Man. This is the main arc, and you can enjoy it for what it is. But if you choose to read the Spider-Verse other books, they're not essential, but they add to the story. If you are reading them, you get a fuller experience, but you don't lose anything if you're not. And I think that's a great balance, and it's the kind of balance all events should have with their tie-ins. Then I have Hulk, issue number 10. Really been loving this mission, and this issue we get to see the showdown between Hulk and Red Hulk, so that's going to be cool. Is this the last stand of Doc Green? Yeah, that looks like it's going to be good. We then have Iron Fist, issue number 8. We're now on the redemption of Iron Fist, so that's going to be cool. We then have The Punisher, issue number 14, and I think actually this issue, yes, we're going to get the continuation of the story that didn't continue last issue, so that's going to be cool, so I'm looking forward to that. We then have Spider-Man 2099, issue number 7, another Spider-Verse tie-in, as they try to get to the bottom of what makes the Inheritors tick, so that should be good. Legendary Star-Lord, issue number 7. Things looked bad for Star-Lord last issue, so Kitty took off to the stars to try and save her bow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. Freddie Williams, yeah. So yeah, that should be good. I found this book really has been hit and miss. Some issues have been really strong, some haven't. So I'm hoping this is going to be one of the strong issues. And finally, we have Eternal Warrior, Days of Steel, issue 3. This is the last issue. It's a 3-part mini. I've got the other 2 issues to read, so I'll probably read all 3 issues back to back. This will be in my reviews, just because there's only 3 issues, so it's not such a big thing to get through those. But it'll probably give me a different experience because I'm reading them all together. So those are my books this week. I was good, like I said, nothing off the shelves yet. I would have picked up Ant-Man, but $4.99 now, I don't want to start that game. And especially since I'm probably going to weaken and pick up Star Wars. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh, Star Wars. Anywho, that's me done this week. I will be back probably Sunday or Monday with a review video. I'll review those books, or Justice League 3000 and Robocop might not be in my reviews. It just depends how many comics I get read between now and when I do the review video. I'd like to take the opportunity, in case you haven't seen any of my other videos, to wish you a Happy New Year. I've told you when I'll be back. I was going to say again, but you don't need to. Your memory isn't as short as mine, so you don't need reminding again when I'll be back. Yeah, so that's me done. I'm going to go now, get a beverage, and read some of these comics. So I've been Jason. This has been Dude's Comic Haul, the first Dude's Comic Haul of 2015, no less. Bye for now.